Hello and welcome back. My name is Greatman Ayilara, and today on this community and this platform, we want to ask a question and also provide a possible solution to it or possible answers to it. We ask, what is holiness? Holiness is a word that people have used from ancient time till now. Holiness is almost like something that people who are religious use in order to put others in bondage or to measure the standard of their life or how acceptable it is going to be to the supreme being. Holiness is one word that has been misconstrued and also misused for a while, and it has been used to abuse the psychology of people, where they run after a thing and never are able to grasp it. Holiness is something that makes people just want to run a rat race for the rest of their lives. They just want to be holy. And while trying to be holy for the heavenly realm, they become useless in this world, the planet. Now, I often ask people that how is it that everything wonderful and beautiful is being exported to heaven? Let me not use exportation. Let me say it's being zoned to heaven. So when people say, what is love? They say, God is love. Human beings are surely also capable of showing love, don't you think? When we say, what is a peace of mind? They say, peace of mind is when we get to heaven, where we don't have to cry or weep anymore. Human beings surely can create an atmosphere where there is no weeping and there is no crying here on earth. And we say, well, what is organization? They said, there is nowhere so organized as the place called heaven. Why is it that everything that we are created to do in this world is being zoned and being delayed till where we get to heaven? So also the word of holiness. They say, nobody can be holy except we die and we meet God in heaven. As if death is going to bring holiness to us automatically. Some even have a definition that the moment you become completely holy, then you die because no holy people can live in this world. So, by consequence, their own definition for holiness is whenever someone dies, they have become so holy and so perfect and so one with God that God needed to take them. And so people say, okay, what about Enoch? Enoch walked with God and he was no more because he was holy. And I keep wondering, what was the detail of Enoch's life? You go to church, you go to mosque, they give you laws, rules, and regulations to live your life by. And they say, when you do these things is where you become holy. And you keep wondering, when am I going to be able to do this without doing the others? Because while you're trying to keep one holy, you are becoming unholy on other aspect of life. So surely, does the Supreme Being want us to be holy? Yes, that's the only thing he's asking from us. But are we yet holy? No. Can we be holy? Yes. And what is holiness in this context? Holiness is when you become one with the higher self, with your higher self. What I mean by becoming one with your higher self is a sense of unity with your higher self. Holiness is not when they tell you not to steal and you don't steal. Holiness is not when you have premarital sex or you don't have it. It is not when you have extramarital sex. That does not determine if you are holy or not. If you eat pig or you eat chicken, that does not make you holy. You go to church or you go to mosque, it doesn't make you holy. So you have to now obey some certain set of rules before you can say you are holy. When you do that, you realize there are some things you are putting yourself in bondage of. Because sometimes most of these rules and regulations and laws, we obey them grudgingly. The act of obeying things grudgingly is even making you unholy, even though you are trying to be holy. So holiness could be relative. To you, it could be somethingness. To me, eating pig for you might make you unholy. Now that's you. For me, it might not make me unholy. And that's for me. And you have no right to judge me as unholy because I don't eat what you eat or I eat what you don't eat. And what did I say? I said, the Supreme Being, your higher self, wants you to be in awesomeness with Him. Now, what is holiness? Holiness is a sense of unity, wholesomeness. When you are whole, when you are one when there is so much unity and no discord between you and your higher self. That is holiness. So the only thing or the only person who have the right to dictate to you what makes you holy is not a human being, and it is not a book. It is your higher self. That's why I keep teaching about maintaining contact with your higher self. They will tell you not to ease at people, not to look at people twice. There was even a part when I was a Muslim boy, and the Prophet Muhammad said, the only time you commit adultery with a woman is when you look at her lustfully twice. So I devised a means with my friend. I told my friend that, okay, Muhammad said, we don't look back at a woman if we have seen her once. Okay, you can lust after her once. The moment she passes you by, you don't look at her again. So I told my friend, when we see a lady that we want to lust after, we don't look at her when she's coming to face us. We look at where she's going to, so that when she come and pass us by, we are seeing the backside of it fully. Then we have not committed sin. So if we are going to judge holiness by the things that was written down and say, do not do this, do not do this, human beings are devising a way of outsmarting all these rules and regulations. Does it make them holy? They say, do not think about a woman lustfully so that you don't commit adultery with her. I don't think about that lustfully. I just go ahead and sleep with her. Am I still holy? Surely no. So holiness cannot be attained when you obey rules and regulations. It can only be attained when you maintain contact with your higher self. Now, the state of being called holy is when you are so unified with your higher self that there is no disparity between what you are hearing from your higher self and what you are doing with your lower self. And what your supreme being wants you to do is different from what he wants me to do. So if because you are attaining some level of success through the instruction of your higher self and begin to emulate you by neglecting my own supreme being, which is my higher self, I am becoming unholy at the expense of wanting to be as holy as you are. So I will tell people that come to me, I tell them that come, you have to find your own holiness, because your journey in this world is different from my journey. And the procedures or rules and regulations that will take me to achieve what I have been sent to this world to do will be different from yours. So holiness is when you maintain one contact with your higher self. Now, I have a paper with me here. This paper is holy. It is fully holy. It is all by itself. There is no disparity. No part of it is away. It is complete. It is complete. Now, when you want to tear it apart, you realize that it becomes so difficult. Why? Because there is power of unity in it. It is one. It is one. Holiness means one. One. When you are one with your higher self, when you are whole, when you are complete. Now, I could afford to now tear this paper with so much energy, then it is not holy. Why? There is disparity between it. And because there is disparity between it, distraction begins to set in. Abuse begin to set in. And the end product of this paper is to get into the recycle bin because I messed up his life. But at the state of just being one with this, nothing can go wrong. You cherish it, it is still useful. It has not been devalued. But unfortunately, most of us have been devalued because we are not holy with our higher self. We are too distracted. They tell us this is the new way of life and we follow them. We neglect what our supreme being told us to do. And you hear a new gospel coming in town, or a new preaching coming in town, or a new Sadguru or Guru Maharaji coming in town, or a new kind of discovery coming in town, and you leave what you are used to or what you think is good for you, and you follow it. You are always here and about and looking for what is next, always looking for upgrade. Why? Because you do not even know the desire of your supreme being. Holiness is not something so metaphysical. And when you maintain contact with your supreme being, surely you will get to a spot whereby you completely just live this holy life without even thinking of yourself as being holy. Surely, Yeshua of Nazareth, which the Christian people follow, was considered as holy. Was he always holy all his life? No, he wasn't. But does that stop him from fulfilling what his supreme being asked him to do? No. Now, if we have to go by what is written down, they said, do not be angry. They said, even when you are angry, do not sin. But he was surely angry, wasn't he? He picked up the canes and he beat people. And he was so radical about it. And he couldn't control his anger. He couldn't even put it under subjection. He went all out, became so emotional. And you will hear him often stand in the synagogue or in the public space and call people snakes. Compare human being that God created to snakes, to brood of viper, to brood for nothing generations. Does that make him unholy? No, because at that point, his supreme being requires him to say that. Maybe people can get the message. Should we follow that? No. Does he have other good quality? Yes. Should we emulate that? Yes. But surely he went to the cross to go and die. Not really the cross. Not really the cross. There's a lot of explanation around that. But he was hung on the tree. Should we go to the tree and die because we want to be like Jesus also? No. Because that would be suicide. And it will be against your own supreme being. We were not destined to do that. It was not part of your own supreme being's instruction for you to do that. If you try to now copy him, you are becoming unholy. You are becoming unholy. Now, how do you now separate between adoring a man of virtue and replacing a man of virtue as God? That is when you become unholy. And they will not tell you that. Higher self. That is why we say that this race is personal. You see what they call salvation? What gets you to the place of becoming the God that you were before you become the God that you are right now is personal. What works for you is different from what works for me. I want to put on this shirt. That doesn't mean you should. I feel better in it. I feel lighter in it. And maybe somehow my supreme being told me to dress this way. How is he telling you to dress? Holiness is not attained because a woman does not put on trousers. It doesn't. Holiness does not come because a man is faithful to his wife. Those are things that is required of you in a society. Those are rules that govern a society. That a man who is not married should be faithful to his wife. A woman who is not married should be faithful to the husband. That's it. There are consequences if you don't do that. That has nothing to do with being holy. But you surely will answer to the government of your nation if you do that, because it can result to divorce. But holiness is something so personal and so private to you. Something that you wear expressly and your own body tilt towards doing all the time. Surely there are people who have never been told not to use jewelry, but they don't like putting on jewelry. To them, it makes them feel uncomfortable. It has nothing to do with going to heaven or dying in hell. That's just what their body requires. Now, if they now force themselves to put on this jewelry, they are being unholy to their higher self, because their own higher self might not require them to put on external jewelry or accessory. So holiness cannot be attained when you follow some rules and regulations. Surely there are rewards for following rules and regulations, especially constituted authority in a land. But nobody can truly tell you how to achieve holiness except you listen effectively to your supreme being. And do you know the very first unholy act that you do as a human being? By not obeying or focusing on your supreme being. If I ask you today, when was the last time you heard from your supreme being? You will tell me that according to the book of... No. That's not what your supreme being wanted to live by. Because he's always talking to you all the time. Now, the journey to spirituality starts by finding your supreme being first. The journey towards spirituality starts by finding your supreme being first. And do not ever think that your supreme being is one idol somewhere. No, we talk about your supreme being as a kind of customized way that the source of life wants you to function in this life. I say it again. We talk about supreme being as a divine way and a unique, a different and dynamic way that the source of life wants you to function in this life that we live in? What are your instructions? What are the things you are meant to execute here? What effort are you putting into making sure that you are not being distracted in your race? That the achievement of other people is not swerving you out of what specific instruction the Supreme Being wants you to achieve. Let's say for a moment that Yeshua of Israel chose to now fulfill the race of John the Baptist. Will he not be judged badly? He will surely be judged badly. Even though their message look alike, but their method must surely be different. Are you being found in your lane, in your area of calling? That makes you super holy. So eating this food, not eating this food, marrying from this nation or not marrying from this nation, having this sex or not having this sex, has nothing to do with being holy. If it is to your Supreme Being that it is allowed, yes, go ahead and do it. But surely if a man maintain full contact with the Supreme Being by being holy, wholesome, and one with his Supreme Being, there are some things that he will not dare do. There are general instructions from the source of life to every living creature. And there are personal instructions from the source of life to every living creature. But are all living creatures, just like you and I, maintaining contact with the source of life? You are too distracted. You are too busy. The kind of music you listen to do not even propel you to want to fulfill your divine nature. Always suppressing you, putting limitation over you. The messages you listen to, you go to this YouTube channel, you go to this Facebook, you are in this network, you are in this place, they are gossiping here, they are mocking people here, they are abusing people there, this news is going on. You are too distracted. You are scattered abroad, and you cannot even afford to maintain contact or be holy with your Supreme Being. The very first holiness you should attain in life is not the holiness of what I do or what I don't do. It's the holiness of being one in unity with your Supreme Being. You surely must know Abraham. You surely must know Abraham. Either you are a Muslim or a Christian. I am none of this. I believe in God. Abraham got to a point where all the scripture says he becomes a friend of God. What made Abraham become the friend of God? Did Abraham not sin all the days of his life? He surely did sin. Did he kill people? Yes, he killed people. Extramarital affair? Yes, he did add it. But what did he do that made the Supreme Being say, this surely is my friend? Why? Because he's always attentive to what the Supreme Being is about to tell him. And through attentive and attention to the Supreme Being and maintain unity and unison with the Supreme Being, his vision becomes so widened. There is no one in life who is in unity with the Supreme Being that has a normal vision. No one. I have not seen. I have not seen. And if all you have ever seen in life are the things that appears in your TV or before your eyes, you should go and maintain contact with your Supreme Being, because it's the one that sees beyond. He said, when you call unto me, I will answer you. And I'm not going to answer you by thunder. I will answer you by vision, showing you great and mighty things that people are yet to see. I want to destroy these people. I must tell my friend first. Something is going to happen in this place. My friend needs to know first. Holiness. Did he just sleep with his servant or not? I do not care. He maintained contact with me. I must tell my friend first. Are you a friend of your Supreme Being? Are you in unity with your Supreme Being? Are you so synced with your Supreme Being? Are you in synergy with your Supreme Being? Or you are so distracted with the activity of what goes on in your church or your mosque or your place of worship, to the point where you think when you sing for other people and entertain them in church or mosque, you think you are serving your Supreme Being. No, you are not. You definitely are not. Any artist can do what you do. And because they fall down and they cry and there are tears over their face, yeah, adrenaline comes with emotion. Because you sing so well, you are so perfect in your area of calling, in your area of field. that artistic part of you, that talent part of you, it will make people become so adrenaline surged, and they can cry, they can fall down, they can roll over the ground. That is all about it, nothing else. Some people's healing comes only when they do aerobics, and because you know how to sing very well, their body is able to move. Do not forget that the Marriott do it good like their medicine. So when they dance to your music, they become so happy. Why do you think people go to beer parlor? Why do you think they attend the concert of these people you call secular people or worldly people? What you do in your church or your mosque is not different from what they do in those mega fest. You entertain people. And because people find happiness there, their healing comes. Because their heart is merry, their body responds to the state of their mind, which is happiness, and they get healing. It has nothing to do with maintaining contact with your supreme being. No, no, it doesn't. Your supreme being is being maintained contact with in your place of quietness, where it is just you and him alone. And it is in state of holiness and maintaining contact with your supreme being that you are able to get the right instructions on how to keep yourself holy. Do not define holiness according to what people have set down as rules and regulation. Holiness to you, according to your supreme being, might be filthiness to me. That's why you don't judge anybody. That's why you don't judge anybody. They may have reason for doing what they are doing. I once read a particular part of the scripture. It says, the source of life created everything for his own good will. The source of life created everything. The source of life gave life to everything for his own good will. It said he even created the wicked people for the day of destruction. So what if the bad people are not doing evil to you? Do you want them to get no reward from their master who gave them life to do evil for the purpose of pushing you to the place of your own satisfaction or your own fulfillment? Some of you cry woe and you say, no, I don't want enemies. Enemies should die. Some of you want your enemies to just fall down and die. No, if your enemies fall down and die, you will never get to the place of a table that is prepared before you. Always make availability for the position of enemies in your life. And it is not your fault. If you are maintaining contact with your higher self, you will surely know that this world comes with both enemies and friends. As a matter of fact, you need more enemies in your life than your friends. They take you out of your comfort zone. They push you to the place of expansion, where you will naturally and ordinarily not want to go to. So holiness in a nutshell goes back to the foundation of your relationship with your higher self. The supreme being to you might be different from the supreme being to me. He is the source of life, but he created you for a purpose that is different from mine. And how do you fulfill this purpose? Maybe by not eating pork. Maybe you will live longer. Maybe by eating pork. Maybe I will be okay. If he tells me and permit me to, and it doesn't permit you to, you should not use your own relationship with your supreme being to judge my life. No, no, you should not. So some people say, okay, I've had sex with someone who is not my wife, so I am unholy. Yeah, maybe that makes you unholy. Why? Because it is distorting your connection with your higher self. So remember that whatever distorts your connection with your higher self, whatever it is that is keeping you away from focusing on getting the right energy from your higher self, makes you unholy. Now, the holiness itself is not in what you do, what you eat, or what you wear. Holiness in itself is how connected strongly you are to your higher self. Now, human beings are created never to lose touch with base. Human beings can only become their fullness in life when they do not lose touch with the base. When they keep in touch with the source of their creation all of the time. But so many of us surely have lost touch with the source of our creation. Surely most of us do not even know the source of our creation, according to the definition of other people. And this is what I'm putting to you today. Most of you are not looking for God to serve him. You are looking for God to serve you. Most people in life looking for God, helter skelter here and there, they are surely not looking for God to serve him. They are looking for God to serve them. So you are so scared of doing this because you want to get heaven from God. You go to the place of worship over and over again. You give thanks under false pretext every time because you want God to do something for you. Some of you even go to the extent of trying to put up some public stunt so that God can look at you from the emotional aspect and say, okay, yeah, he's doing what I want to do so that I can do this for him. Let's release it for him. God do not love people like that. The Supreme Being do not love people who do things because of what they want to get from. The Supreme Being is in a position of telling you what he wants you to do. Either he gives you reward or not. The fact that you maintain contact and keep yourself one with him is enough reward for you in a lifetime. It's enough reward for you in a lifetime. So nobody can tell you exactly what the mind of God is. Because for you, the mind of God is different from the mind of God for me. Surely no book can tell you, especially what God looks like and how to serve God. Surely no. Because this God is too big for you to put under one doctrine, under one sphere, under one person's knowledge, under one explanation. I surely do not know everything about the source of life. I am still trying to discover. But of the few I've discovered, I know that holiness is not a set of rules and regulations on what to do or not to do. A civilized human being don't hurt other people. It's just basic. Do not steal money. It has nothing to do with going to heaven or not. Why? If you steal money, you go to jail. That's the consequences of it. It doesn't make you holy. It doesn't make you unholy. Those are the rules and regulations that governs where you work and where you live and the town where you stay and the nation where you find yourself. Obeying the constituted authority does not make you holy. Surely it doesn't. Even people who have never heard about God, they obey constituted authority. Even those who call atheists, who never believe God exists, they surely obey that and they get the reward of their obedience. But what makes you holy? When you are one with your higher self. When you have found your Supreme Being and you have in contact with him all the time. You wore red yesterday, you go into an interview and it's telling you don't wear red today. And you listen. And because you don't wear red, you got the job. It has something to do with red is bad or red is good. No, you just obey and that's it. You never can tell. Maybe your interviewer hates the color red. So he's telling you that person doesn't like color red. Doesn't mean that red is danger. No. The things your Supreme Being tells you not to do is for your own benefit. It is for your own good. And most of the time, your Supreme Being tells you to do this and not do this because of your health so that you can live longer. It has a lot to do with your life. So you can live longer. Or because of the health of other people and their temperament. And if you can obey all these things, it is good for you. You want to cross the road. There's an elderly person right next to you. And your Supreme Being is telling you, help the woman to cross. And you say, no. What if she die on the road? What will happen to me? And the Supreme Being says, so I can tell you something and you don't do it. You are not holy in that aspect of life. That does not mean that when it tells you to help a child and you help a child, you have not become holy in that aspect. No, it doesn't mean that you have not become holy. But in the aspect of the little instruction they gave to you that you did not, you have become unholy. So holiness is carrying out the instruction of your Supreme Being one step at a time. One step at a time. Holiness is carrying out the instruction of your Supreme Being one step at a time. And what he asks you to do at a time might be different from what you want me to do at a time. Remember I said we have general law and we have customized one. So how do you know what the Supreme Being wants you to do one step at a time? When you build a personal relationship with him. When you build a personal relationship with him. And how do you build this personal relationship with so much distraction around you? The more you want to know, the more you don't know. You are confused. Too much knowledge is making you mad. It's making you mad. You are confused. Both the things that is useful for you and the ones that are not useful for you, you take it in. Sometimes you don't need to learn from people before you can know. There is something in you that can teach you all things. Surely, He has not left you to be like an orphan in this world so that you can grope around the darkness. No, only if you listen. So who speaks to the one that doesn't listen to him? So if it is your attitude and your culture or your habit not to listen at all, He stopped talking to you. The Supreme Being want to talk to you like I am talking to you right now. And when you don't get it while active, He waits for you to sleep and He bring the message to you. Still, some of you don't get it. Some of you don't get it. But my prayer for you is you'll be able to calm your spirit and your soul and your body enough to get enough message to fulfill your destiny in this life. Because you are more than what you are right now. If you are surely in the place where your Supreme Being wants you to be part-time, nothing can go wrong with you. If you obey the laws and the regulations and the things that your Supreme Being tells you, even your enemies will come and curry your favor. They want to relate with you. They want to go into partnership with you. Even your enemies will wonder how are things working for you so far. You can be big, you can be small, you can be so gangatuan, but your Supreme Being might not be so huge as you are, but He controls the affair of a life. And I close with this. A plane could be so big, bigger than a 3-story building, so big and so huge. But the Supreme Being in that plane is the pilot. It tells you to move right, you tilt right. It tells you to go left, you tilt left. And in obeying what the pilot asks you to do, what do? You get to your destination safely as a plane. All the plane needs to do is to listen to instruction. All the plane needs to do, you don't need to fly yourself. A plane doesn't need to fly itself. A plane doesn't need to struggle to fly. The flight of a plane is the instruction that the pilot gives you. So I'm asking, who is piloting your life? Do you allow a book written by those who have come and gone to pilot your life? Do you allow a man who you do not know what he does in the secret to pilot your life because he is also pious? Do you allow people who doesn't even know how you were created and the purpose for your living to dictate your life for you? And no matter how powerful a plane is, when it takes instruction outside that of the pilot in it, it will crash. So I cannot surely consult your pilot for you. And the beautiful thing is, even an automatic pilot plane is being piloted by someone somewhere. You have your own Supreme Being. I have mine. What is it telling you to do? Don't forget that getting to your destination means that you have maintained this wholesomeness and this oneness with your pilot. And in obeying the instruction of the pilot, you never go wrong. Who is the pilot of your life? Surely a man like you cannot be a pilot of your life. It must be one person that is bigger than everybody. And thank God the person is not a person. He would have changed his mind. Maybe today he's in a bad mood. If the person is a woman, the day he's doing his menstrual flow, he will run your life down. And if the person is a man, the day he's broke and he doesn't have money in his account, he gets so angry at you and he messes your life up. Thank God your Supreme Being is neither male or female. Thank God he has no name. Thank God he's just spirit and a force that runs your life. And no matter how big an object is, when it submits itself to the force, it gains motion. It gains motion. Holiness helps you travel faster without expending any effort on it. Remember that holiness is not what you do or what you don't do. Holiness is how sync you are with your higher self and the synergy that exists between you and yourself. So what you do and what not to do is now being related to you seamlessly through a relationship between you and your higher self. What has he told you to do that you are here to do? That is taking your peace of mind away. What is he telling you to start and you refuse to start? That is why you are getting older before your time, because you worry so much. You are disorganized. What is it that he has planted in your mind? And you are scared if you die today, he might be angry with you on the other side if he's there. What are those things that he has tell you not to do again that you keep doing? That's why you are not in unison. You have sleepless nights. You are afraid of the dark. Everything gets you scared. You are always upset. You are not balanced. Unity with yourself, that is holiness. And how can you control your mind and make it stay in one place so that it doesn't wander around? Maybe surely tomorrow we can continue on that or some other day. Don't forget to join me on this channel every day, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. 8 p.m. Nigerian time. And if you are a newcomer on this community, press the subscribe button. Most importantly, is the alarm button, the notification button at the right hand corner. Press it and make sure you activate all so that when we are live, you will know. I do not know it all. You might know better than I do. So I encourage you to participate actively. Drop your comment on this channel so that I can answer your query. My name is Greatman Ayilara. I'm so glad you could join me today. And I hope as the world carries and keep going and rolling around the solar energy, one day I may meet you and we share some bread together. Thank you very much for joining me today. Okay, so you might want to follow me on my social media for several of the material work that we do. We help little children get surgery in this part of the world. We also help the teenage mothers, single mothers, and also the widow mothers to start up again as a practice to what the Supreme Being will love, the true religion that we know can take us anywhere. You want to be part of us on Facebook or Instagram at the Greatman Ayilara, and God or your Supreme Being is telling you, help this man support this channel. You know what to do with that information also. Voluntarily. Voluntarily. And if you do not have, you are still loved by us. God bless you and take care of yourself now. Bye for now.